fellow intellectuals. This is Reason, the voice in your head you should be listening to. We're back for part 2 of the bashing of everyone's favorite retard, I mean status. So sit back and enjoy.
Wolves, when their population is really low. Really, do a bit of research and tell me how they're fucking property. Alright, blow me, you fucking idiots.
Let me remind you that this kid is a statist, so every argument tends to have an ad hominem, so you can expect some retarded arguments. And for your information, you're the one who needs to do some research, kid.
I've met many. Just in the comment section of this fucking video.
Then you should feel at home with your fellow idiots. I mean, unless they're not idiots like you claim.
And it does not matter if most people wouldn't stand idly by when someone beats their dog. You know, in an ANCAP society, people that are okay with abusing dogs could have their own fucking town, and in that fucking town, there wouldn't be private security. The people in that privately owned town would not fucking let people in that would stop them from doing what they want.
It would be pretty hard to have that many people who enjoy beating animals gather in one place without being noticed or recognized. And even if they did make a town, who would want to trade or be associated with these people? No one, because as I've said before, it will fuck your reputation to a point where no one will want to trade or associate with you. And besides that, what would stop a group of people from coming into that town and kicking the living shit out of these people and taking these abused pets from them?
I mean, come on. Beat your kids, whatever, you know, you're not breaking the non-aggression principle.
Sorry guys, I have to interject here. You say that statists are perfectly fine. The people that use violence to solve all their problems. Every time their child is bad, they spank them, they punish them. That's perfectly fine. The people that are spank crazy, those people are perfectly fine to you. But the people who give up aggression, the ANCAPs like Stephen Molyneux and others that say that spanking is the worst thing you could do for a child, those are the people that are gonna freaking beat their kids. That's freaking ridiculous. You literally got a room full of Vikings, and on the other side of the room, you got hippies. You sit there and say, oh, those Vikings, they're perfectly A-okay. Using violence to dominate people's A-okay. But those hippies, man, the ones that gave up aggression, they're totally too violent. They're gonna beat the shit out of their kids. Won't somebody think of the children? Give me a fucking break.
Mr. Dapperton, you fucking idiot. I didn't say that you were personally okay with parents beating their kids. I didn't say that you did it. I didn't say people agree with you did. What I'm saying is that people in an ANCAP society would not be stopped from doing it.
Actually, in an anarcho-capitalist society, 3 things would happen. 1, their reputation is fucked. 2, no one will trade with them. 3, someone would intervene and get the child away from said violent individual. By force if necessary.
You can't use the ridiculous argument of, oh well, you know, most people I know, they would stop, I wouldn't stand idly by. Well, you know what? There are people that fucking would. You know who beat their kids? Amish people. There could be a town of people that do think it's okay. Okay, what if a bunch of Muslims wanted to start their own little town? It would be privately owned property. And in that town, there would be Sharia law. Those kids that live in that town would be fucked. Everyone that lives in that town would be fucked. And children can't make their own decisions. So if they are born in some kind of a fucking cult out in the middle of the woods, and their parents want to beat them, they are fucked!
What did I just say? You could not possibly think that a town ran like that could possibly survive in an ANCAP society. I've explained it. And so is Hoodie and Dapperton. If you don't understand, that's on you, kid.
That is my point, you imbecile!
This coming from the kid who couldn't beat my argument, so he blocked me on Twitter. Learn to argue, kid.
So, yeah, the government has no domain. Do whatever the fuck you want. Who cares if you're affecting people? Who cares about the well-being of others? All that matters is that what you're doing is not causing immediate harm.
No, there's nothing immediate about it. The nap prevents harm. Period.
To an adult human being. Without government, if you don't have the money to pay for medical treatment, your life is fucking worthless.
Competition will be at an all-time high and all corporations will be at the mercy of their consumers. And deregulation will lower manufacturing costs, which means at the end of the day, prices will be lower in general. And in a world with no government, you're not paying taxes on anything, so now you're making almost twice what you're making now. Buy medical insurance. Boom. Problem solved.
The thing about private insurance is that they're not going to cover people for cheap prices. They're not going to cover people with pre-existing conditions. They're not going to cover people that will not benefit them. I know you think that competition will make everybody fucking perfect. But what you seem not to understand is that businesses will only do what is profitable. It's not profitable to provide healthcare at a low price to people with pre-existing conditions. Okay, that's not going to be profitable for them. They're not going to fucking do it. Do you really think that when you get health insurance, the contract will just say, you give us this amount of money and we will pay all of your medical bills? No, it's going to be fucking detailed. There's going to be a lot of shit that they won't cover. Do you think people are going to research into what they cover and what they don't?
Yes. In fact, ask your parents about it. I'm sure they will tell you the same thing I'm about to tell you. Why buy insurance without knowing the details? And about the cost, they would either make the price competitive with other insurance companies or no one will buy it. I'm seriously starting to feel you're not educated enough to understand economics.
Last time I checked, people cannot look into the future and see what medications or surgeries or whatever they're going to need. And if you think that, if you actually believe that they would cover everything, you're delusional.
Says the kid who believes a death sentence for killing an endangered animal is justified.
The healthcare that poor people are going to get is going to be shit.
Competition will cause the prices to drop. What do you not understand?
It's probably not going to even cover anything until they pay a ton of money. And when they do cover it, they're not going to cover the whole thing. They're not going to cover expensive medical bills. If they're not regulated, they're just going to give you bullshit about how they cover 99.9% of medical costs. And then, if you need expensive treatment, they're not going to provide it. They're not going to pay for it. With public health care, your health insurance is free, and it covers everything that you need.
Okay, well, I've been on public health care, and they've denied my medication 3 fucking times because it's too expensive. So don't tell me this bullshit that they cover everything I need, because they don't. I bet you never researched public health care before you made this video, did you?
That's the thing about public healthcare. Private healthcare is only going to do what's profitable. Public healthcare is going to do what's better for the people.
Wasn't better for me, so what makes you so sure it benefits the people, kid?
I know you're going to give me bullshit about how, I know you're just going to give me bullshit about how rich people will just donate to charity.
Trump donates to charity, and he's fucking loaded, so explain that one, dipshit.
And that'll help all the dying people. Yet the difference between charity and taxes is that taxes are actually forced. You have to pay taxes.
That's why it's theft.
Charity is a choice, and most people don't give a fuck about others.
You have a very low opinion of people, don't you? Are you projecting?
Keep living in your little fantasy world, though, where everything is perfect, competition makes everything cheap, and human beings are all fucking angels. Have fun, dude!
We don't believe people are angels. We just understand how an ANCAP society would function, unlike you.
It is just sickening how these retards
Oh, they're retards. Are they also freaking gay wads?
put the freedom to amass huge amounts of wealth, more than they can spend in a fucking lifetime, while other people are dying of preventable diseases.
Yeah, so what we really need to do is call the government to bring in the guys with the guns to steal money from the rich, because that's morally okay because they're dying. In the same vein, it's also okay if I'm bleeding out that I hire someone to kidnap someone else, club them over the head, and draw blood from them without their consent, because I'm dying, it's okay.
Which is more important? your life or someone's choice not to give blood.
Choice, you fucking idiot!
Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer that it's kind of more important that you fucking survive than if someone has to get their blood drawn without their consent.
What the actual fuck is wrong with you?
It's even worse for children. Okay, small children that are not capable of earning money. What if their parents don't want to pay for their medical treatment? What if they don't want to pay for their food? What if they fucking can't?
I've already demonstrated earlier why there's almost no way that they couldn't do it, and if they don't want to, then you care about them, I care about them. I'm pretty sure in Anarcho-capitalism enough people are going to care about them to have a few adoption centers floating around there. And I really pity you. If you are so cynical, you honestly believe people are so morally bankrupt they need a government to teach them that it's not okay to starve your children. Because we live in a society with police and government now, but if I found out my neighbors were abusing their children, I'd step in and do something about it. Fuck waiting for the police and legal system to kick in.
Around half of the population follows an Abrahamic religion.
Yeah, and if you're talking about Christianity or Judaism, those are some of the most peaceful religions out there. So what's your point?
That means that those people are so fucking morally bankrupt.
Do you even research before you make a claim, or does it just jump out of your mouth?
Such fucked up people that they will discard any basic moral standards for might makes right bullshit.
Let me put the following out there for you to understand. Matthew 25:40 states, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." Translation, if you love God, love your fellow man, because they are made in my image, and honor me by doing so. Don't criticize something you don't understand unless you want to look stupid.
They will love a God that tortures people for eternity that didn't even do anything wrong.
You really don't understand Abrahamic religion, do you? If you choose to kill someone, don't expect to get away with it. The understanding is that clear, but you still think he's punishing them when they bring this hell on themselves? You really need to do your research before attempting an argument. But hey, blocking people works when you don't get your way.
Because they want to go to heaven, because they want to be benefited, because they want the benefits of submitting to that infinitely evil and vile God. But please tell me how perfectly moral people are. Without centralized power, people can get away with anything if they have the resources and the money. In your society, there is nothing that stops people from living in little communities where children and animals are horribly abused. There could be a puppy mill town. There could even be a fucking pedophile faction
It's official. You just rant without research or citations.
that trades kids as fucking sex slaves. You do realize that can happen, right?
You do realize that good people will not let that happen, right? And I'm not repeating the 3 problems with this argument again.
You're retarded. Ad hom alert!
Grow the fuck up!
You fucking loser, kid. This isn't fucking ad hominem. Nobody with half a brain cell thinks it's an ad hominem to insult someone. Fuck off.
It's an ad hominem if you don't explain why someone is what you claim they are. Like how I've explained you're fucking retarded. I swear, you sound like a squeaker from Call of Duty who can't even make an original fucking insult.
Oh yeah, they fucking die. Because no one gives a shit. What about animal abuse? What if you torture a dog? You know, dogs are your property. They don't have rights. So you know, you're not breaking the fucking non-aggression principle. You can starve them to death, do whatever the fuck you want.
Okay, you do know that in the US animals don't have rights, right? So, in order to protect them from people who abuse and starve them, they rely on the exact same thing that they would rely on in Anarcho-capitalism. People caring about them enough to the point where they would step in and do something if they found out that other people were abusing their animals. And in today's society, yes, animals are property. Live with it.
Dog abuse is illegal. If it wasn't, then all the humane societies wouldn't have any power. Do you think they're just a fucking militia that attacks people and steals their pets because they abuse them? No. They get the police involved. That is why it works. I can't just bust down your fucking door and steal your dog because I don't think you're caring for him right. That is ridiculous. What I can do is call the police on you, and they will do that. I know you don't understand this.
Well, actually, in Anarcho-capitalism, you very well could. Honestly, kid, you are the worst person to make an argument on the behalf of anything. If you're planning on becoming a lawyer, I would say don't quit your day job, but I'm pretty sure you live off mommy and daddy. Seriously, sit on a nail, you little cretin. Alright, that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed this kid's destruction as much as I have, please like and subscribe, and feel free to suggest the next video you'd like to see in the comments. If I choose your video, I'll put your name in the description. I also have a Twitter and a Minds account if you'd like to stay connected. And if you're feeling generous, I also have a Patreon account. So, to those of you who are watching, stay reasonable. And to anti-theists, I say grow the fuck up.